There's one story I've avoided telling for years, not because I forgot it, but because I still don't fully understand what happened. And every time I think about it, the same question always comes back. What was that man doing under that cabin? And more importantly, what would have happened if we stayed longer? Every year since high school, my friends Theo, Carlos, and I had one tradition. No matter how busy life got, we disappeared into the woods for a weekend. It started when we were kids. Back then, we were obsessed with exploring, especially caves. There was something about hidden places, deep in the wilderness, that always pulled us in. As we got older, the trips became less about adventure and more about holding on to the friendship. But that year, we found something we should have left alone. It was late afternoon when we found it. A cabin, deep in the woods, and I mean deep, miles from any road. No trail, no footprints, no sign anyone had been there, just trees, endless trees. The cabin looked abandoned, rotting wood, broken windows, the roof sagging like it could collapse at any moment. Carlos laughed, said, "This is how every horror movie starts." We all laughed. Then we walked inside. That was our first mistake. Inside it was almost empty. Broken furniture, dust everywhere, rotting wood, no power, no plumbing, no sign anyone had lived there in years. But something felt wrong. The air felt heavy, dry, still, like the room itself didn't want us there. Then we heard it, a dragging sound, slow, rough, like something heavy being pulled across dirt. At first we froze, because it wasn't outside, it was under us. The sound was coming from below the floor. But there was no basement, at least not one we could see. I got down, pressed my ear against the floor, and that's when I knew. Something was down there, moving, dragging itself. We started throwing aside broken furniture, lifting old boards, kicking through dirt, and in the far corner, buried under dust and debris, I found it. A rusted metal handle, a trapdoor. Carlos told me not to open it. Theo agreed, but curiosity always wins. I pulled it open, and the smell hit us instantly. Rotten meat, strong enough to make me gag. I covered my face and looked down, pitch black. Just a ladder, going straight into darkness, and the dragging sound was louder now. Closer, like whatever was down there knew we found it. I climbed down first. That was my second mistake. The temperature changed immediately. It dropped so fast it felt unnatural, not cold. Freezing, like stepping into a grave. I turned on my flashlight. Stone floor, wooden beams, empty space. Silence for a second. I thought maybe whatever we heard was gone. Then something moved. Behind one of the support beams, a man stepped out, limping, dragging his right foot. That was the sound. That's what we'd been hearing. At first, he looked normal. Jeans, green shirt, messy dark hair. But something was wrong. His breathing, heavy, uneven, like every breath hurt. I shouted, "Hey, are you okay?" Nothing, no answer. He just kept walking back and forth, slowly, like he didn't even know I was there. Then I moved closer, and I heard him mumbling, quiet, low to himself. Not English, not anything I recognized. Then suddenly, he stopped. Completely, and turned his head toward me. Slowly, too slowly. Then the rest of his body followed, and he stared. No blinking, no expression, nothing, just eyes. Cold, empty, deadlocked on me. I started backing away toward the ladder. He didn't move. Not yet. But the second my hand touched it, he took one step forward. Just one. And stopped. That one step felt worse than if he'd run at me. Because it felt deliberate. Like he was deciding. Thinking, choosing, I climbed up so fast I nearly fell. The second I got out, I looked at Theo and Carlos and said, "Run." Before we left, I looked down one last time. And I wish I hadn't. He was standing there, at the bottom of the ladder, one hand gripping it, looking straight up at us, like he was thinking about climbing, thinking about following. We ran, straight out of those woods, didn't stop, didn't talk, didn't look back, just ran. Later, we reported it to the police. They searched the cabin, the basement, everything, but they found nothing. No man, no footprints, no food, no clothes, no evidence anyone had ever been there. Nothing, like he vanished. And that's the part that still keeps me awake. Because if he wasn't living there, then what was he doing under that cabin? And if we stayed one more minute, would he have come up that ladder? We still do our yearly hiking trips. Every year. Like always. But now, if we ever find another cabin in the woods, we keep walking. Because some places aren't abandoned. They're occupied by things better left undiscovered.